What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Told you I was gonna do something special for this holiday season and stuff like that, man. I got my Jeff Down bombs on, you know what I'm saying? Jeffrey Down, you know what I'm saying? We on some serial killer shit. Anyway, so today's video is gonna be my top 10 horror movies that I suggest and stuff like that. I wrote a whole script and everything, man. I got you on the descriptions. If you haven't seen these movies and you're a horror fan or you're trying to get into the horror genre, I would suggest these specific movies. So ride with your boy real quick. I'm gonna say some goofy shit because I wrote a script, man. So hey man, just bear with me, man. I'm trying to get professional at this thing.
Welcome to our haunted haven of movie reviews and suggestions, where we sift through the shadows of cinema to find the gems that'll give you goosebumps. Whether you're hunting for the next heart-pounding thriller or a cult classic to mock with your friends, we've got the perfect picks to satisfy your spooky cravings. Grab your popcorn and maybe a flashlight. It's time to explore the darker side of film.
And number 10, I have Talk to Me. This is a newer film, and I'm going to explain why I like this film. So Talk to Me kicks off with a group of Aussie teens who stumble upon an embalmed hand that lets them communicate with the dead. Kind of like speed dating, you know what I'm saying? They start using it for fun, but things quickly spiral out of control. Our main character, Mia, gets way too into it, leading to some seriously spooky and chaotic moments. The film blends dark humor and horror as friendships are tested and the line between fun and terror blurs. Ultimately, it's a wild ride about the dangers of curiosity and of consequence of messing with the unknown. If you find a creepy hand, maybe leave it motherfucker alone. Don't be playing with no creepy hands, bro. So one of the reasons why I chose this movie is because the originality of the concept. The concept was so fresh and new, executed so well, that I really believe that those guys who made the movie, I forget their names, but they're YouTubers, I think they got a long-lasting career in cinema. Number 9, Train to Busan. Train to Busan is a heart-pounding South Korea zombie thriller that follows a workaholic dad who reluctantly takes his younger daughter on a train to Busan. Just as they settle in, a zombie outbreak kicks off, turning the train into a high-speed survival scenario. As the zombies wreak havoc, passengers must band together, revealing their true colors in the face of danger. It's a roller coaster of suspense and with nail-biting moments and emotional depth as he fights to protect his daughter and connect with others. The film blends action, heart, and plenty of what would I do in this situation moments, making it not just a thrilling ride, but also a poignant story about sacrifice and humanity. When in doubt, don't take the train. I mean, I don't know why you would take the train on the zombie apocalypse, but they did. All right, next one, number 8, The Evil Dead. Absolute classic. The Evil Dead is a classic horror film that follows a group of college friends, Ash and his crew, who head to a remote cabin in the woods for a fun getaway. Things take a horrifying turn when they discover a mysterious book, Necronomicon, which, spoiler alert, is definitely not a good read. After reading from the book, they accidentally unleash evil forces that turn into raging, tree-terrifying zombies. Ash has to fight for survival against his possessed friends while dealing with a cabin that's basically a haunted house on steroids. Over-the-top gore, dark humor, and iconic one-line. It's a wild mix of camp and horror that has left its mark on the genre. Just remember, when someone tells you not to read the creepy book, seriously, don't read the creepy book. Don't be doing that. Don't read the creepy book, my G. We at number 7 now. Now we getting into some of my favorites. It's gonna start getting into some of my favorites and stuff like that. Okay, number 7 is, you ready? Dawn of the Dead. Dawn of the Dead is a thrilling remake of a classic zombie film that kicks off with a bang. It follows a group of survivors who take refuge in a mall after a zombie outbreak turns the world upside down. As they settle in, it's not just the undead they have to worry about. They face internal conflicts, the struggle for resources, and the challenges of survival in close quarters. The film delivers a blend of intense action, social commentary, and some surprisingly tender moments amid the chaos. With a mix of fast-paced zombies and gripping storytelling, it's a nail-biting ride that keeps you on the edge of your seat. Just remember, if the world ends, Maybe don't head to the mall for your last minute shopping spree. Okay, getting into number 6. 28 Days Later. Now, I want to tell a little story with this movie. I think 28 Days Later came out when I was real little. And I remember there was a part in the trailer, and I'll probably put it in, where it's a guy on a chain with red eyes. Bro, the trailer gave me nightmares for weeks on end, bro. I was so scared of that movie. But anyway, number 6, 28 Days Later. 28 Days Later is a gripping post-apocalyptic thriller that starts with a chilling premise. The film opens with a group of animal activists who accidentally release a highly contagious virus that turns people into rage-fueled zombies. Talk about a bad day. We follow Jim, a bicycle courier who wakes up from a coma 28 days later to find London desolate and overrun by the infected. As he navigates this terrifying new world, he teams up with a small group of survivors facing not only the ravenous zombies, but also the darker side of humanity. With its intense atmosphere, social commentary, and haunting visuals, the film redefines the zombie genre. It's a roller coaster of tension and emotion that leaves you questioning what it means to survive. Just remember, if you wake up from a coma, check the news first. Now we getting into number 5. Now this is top 5 here. Top 5. And if you guys have any suggestions for any horror movies or anything like that, man, I'll be glad to take a look at them and stuff like that. I don't really like over-the-top gore movies. But anyway, back to the video. Top 5. Number 5. Get Out. You knew it had to be on the list. Get Out is a masterfully crafted psychological thriller that follows Chris, a young black man who visits his white girlfriend Rose's family for the weekend. What starts as an awkward family gathering quickly escalates into a nightmarish situation. As Chris meets Rose's seemingly nice but oddly peculiar parent, he starts to sense something is off. He uncovers unsettling secrets about their family and their strange obsession with black people. The film clearly blends horror with the sharp social commentary, tackling issues of race and privilege in a way that keeps you on the edge of your seat. With this intense atmosphere, dark humor, and jaw-dropping twist, Get Out is a thought-provoking, serious film that lingers long after the credits roll. It's a chilling reminder that sometimes the scariest monsters are the ones hiding in plain sight. For sugarty. Okay, so we top 4 about this thing. I hope you liking the list so far, man. I got a story on number 1, and that's gonna help you to understand exactly why I chose my number 1 as number 1. Because it might not be your number 1, and you might not like my list. That's why I would like if you guys would put your list in the comments. I would like to talk to my 10 subscribers. I love you guys. I really appreciate you guys for coming and looking at my videos and stuff like that, man. It's small, but I really appreciate it. I'm serious, because I'm trying to find, my people and stuff like that. So anyway, number 4 out this mud. Hereditary. Oh my God, man. I love Hereditary, man. Hereditary is a deeply unsettling horror movie that centers on the Graham family, who are grappling with grief after the death of their secretive grandmother. As they try to pick up the pieces, eerie and disturbing occurrences begin to unfold, revealing dark family secrets and sinister legacy. Annie, the mother, increasingly haunted by her family's past, while her son, Peter, and daughter, Charlie, struggle with their own psychological burden. The film masterfully builds tension through atmospheric storytelling and haunting visuals, leading to some truly shocking moments. You don't say. With themes of trauma, loss, and the impact of family dynamics, Hereditary offers a chilling exploration of how inherited pain can manifest in terrifying ways. It's a psychological thrill that leaves you questioning the very nature of family and fate. Once again, hope you liked the list. Candyman. Yeah, Candyman. I don't know why everybody leave Candyman off the list, and I'm not gonna say it 2 more times. I'm gonna say it 1 more time though. Candyman is a haunting supernatural horror film that follows an art student, Helen Lau, who is researching urban legends for her thesis. Her investigation leads her to an eerie story of the man. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not finna say that. Yeah, no, I'm serious. I am a grown man, and I'm not saying that name. 1 more time. Trying it. I'm tiptoeing tiptoeing on the line. I'm not doing it. The Man, a vengeful spirit with a hook for a hand, summoned by saying his name 5 times in front of a mirror. The camera is a mirror, by the way. I'm not doing it. As Helen delves deeper into the legend, she discovers a chilling connection to her own life and a tragic history of the Cabrini Green housing project. The film expertly weaves themes of class, race, and social fear into the narrative, creating a rich backdrop for the horror that unfolds. With its atmospheric tension and thought-provoking commentary, The Man delivers a compelling mix of folklore and psychological terror that lingers long after the credits roll, leaving audiences questioning the power of the myth and the darkness within humanity. I really believe that movie gets overlooked a lot. I don't know why it gets so overlooked, but that is one of the greatest horror movies ever made. The protagonist, the antagonist, just the atmosphere is very claustrophobic. I really believe that that movie should get more attention. And shout out to Tony Todd because he did his thing as that man. I'm not saying his name. Anyway, now we're moving on to number 2, which is one of my favorite horror movies of all time, man. And I don't know why I love this movie so much, but I've loved this movie since I was younger. I will say a kid, man. I was watching stuff I wasn't supposed to be watching. But number 2 is The Shining. The Shining is a psychological horror film that follows Jack Torrance, an aspiring writer who takes a job as the winter caretaker of the isolated Overlook Hotel. He moves there with his wife, Wendy, and their young son, Danny, who possesses a psychic ability called The Shining, allowing him to see the hotel's dark past. As the winter snow traps them inside, Jack gradually succumbs to the hotel's malevolent influence, leading to terrifying visions and an escalating descent into madness. Meanwhile, Danny experiences chilling encounters with the hotel's ghostly inhabitants. With its stunning visuals, eerie atmosphere, and iconic performances, especially Jack Nicholson's unforgettable portrayal, The Shining explores themes of isolation, family dysfunction, and the fragility of sanity. It's a masterclass in building suspense and dread, leaving viewers with a haunting sense of unease. Like I said, man, The Shining is a very good movie. I know it's an older movie and stuff like that, and a lot of people can't really go back and watch older movies and stuff like that, but I would say that it'll definitely be a good watch for Halloween, especially if you've never seen it before. Alright, so now we into number 1. I can't say it's my favorite horror. These are the best horror movies. I think these are the best of the best horror movies. I can't say that this is my favorite horror movie because I think that would go technically to Hereditary. But this is the best, greatest horror movie I've ever seen in my life. And I'm going to tell you why after I tell you what it is.
The Exorcist.
The Exorcist is a legendary horror film that kicks off with a sweet little girl named Reagan who suddenly decides to take her personality from zero to terrifying in record time. One minute she's playing with her dolls and the next she's spinning her head around and projectile vomiting like it's a sport. Her mom, Chris, is basically a full-time panicker trying to figure out why her daughter is possessed. After exhausting all medical options, because let's be real, who knew a little girl could pull off such an extreme transformation? She finally turns to the church for help. Enter Father Scariest, a priest who's part psychologist and part bewildered as he tries to figure out if Reagan just needs a nap or an exorcism. He teams up with the legendary Father Merrin, who has the wisdom of 1,000 horror movies and walks in like he's ready to take on the world, or at least a particularly crazy little girl. With unsettling visuals, iconic lines, and a blend between the absurd and horrifying, The Exorcist serves up a wild mix of laughs and scares. It's a ride that'll make you think twice about letting kids have too much sugar or dabble in anything supernatural. Now, let me explain to you why I think this is the greatest horror movie of all time, and it's not because of what people say. This is on a personal level. When I was a little boy, I think I was about 5 or 6, 6 or 7, maybe 7. My mother took me to my grandmother's house, and my grandmother had a bin of movies that she kept in like a bucket. This was VHS. She kept like a big thing of VHS movies. Sometimes there would be movies in that bin that were like blank tapes and you didn't know what was on the tapes and stuff like that. And I used to just throw them in, and I would see movies like The Nutty Professor and Mrs. Doubtfire, you know what I'm saying, things like that. Wasn't supposed to be watching these movies, but at the same time, sometimes I get away with watching them. One night, my grandmother had to go to the hospital. They left me there by myself. It was raining. I watched one movie that was on the blank tape. The first movie was It. It's not on this list because it's not scary. The original It is not scary to me. Then right after It came on The Exorcist. The Exorcist scared me so much as a child. I could not take my eyes off the screen. When they came back, I had to sleep with my mother for weeks. And I would see Pazuzu ass every time I'd close my eyes. Zoom to me being a grown man. Blockbuster, we got Blockbuster and stuff like that. I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to watch this movie and I wanted to see why I was so scared as a child. Let me tell you what happened. I ended up getting drunk with friends. I ended up renting the movie, and I ended up talking my friends into not watching the movie. I didn't talk them into not watching the movie. I talked so much that we didn't watch the movie. That was on purpose. Took the movie back. Years, like 3 to 4 years after that, I was like, man, I'm being a bitch. I was traumatized, I'm not gonna lie. I took the movie back, zoomed forward like 3 years, right? I watched the movie again as a grown man. This time, I watched it all the way through. And I was just like, that's just a good movie. I was not horrified. I was actually kind of let down that it wasn't more scary. But, I mean, it traumatized me for years. And you know something that's really funny is that Mr. Gigi had the same fear. I don't know if he watched it when he was a kid or not, but I remember him going through and watching the movies again and stuff like that. I will not lie. I have that movie. I don't want to watch that movie in my house because I am like, I don't even want to relive it, but I'm like, bro, I want to watch it again. You know, you had that morbid curiosity of wanting to watch something that you know what I'm saying, that you watched before in the past. I do not want to watch that movie again, but I want to watch the movie again. Please let me know if you feel the same way that I do. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed my list. I really hope that you guys haven't seen a lot of these movies and I'm putting you on to some things. Like I said, again, I'm going to be doing different types of videos and stuff like that. This is Grimfest 7 Days of Halloween. And on that note, man, that's another video for the vault, man, and I appreciate you spending your time with me and even listening to me. Put your list down in the comments, like and subscribe, or watch this other video of me, or wherever the hell it is, or watch this other video of me reacting to scary videos online. If this is your first time, I appreciate you giving me your time, and I look forward to seeing you again. Thank you. I'm out.